Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Karaoke Andy, and I consider myself to be a professional retail intraday trader. You find most of my content on the X platform, where I post daily. I also trade live every Wednesday that you can watch for free and rewatch for free. I also stream that on the X platform, and you can also go to my website karaokeandy.com to rewatch that. But today I want to talk about the broker that I'm trading with for 4.5 years now, which is TD365. I'm also, full disclosure, I'm their affiliate, but I want to emphasize that I'm with them for almost 5 years now, and I only became recently their affiliate. Yeah? So today's video will give you an introduction, an overview over the trading platform. So for that reason, you can go to TD365.com. And you don't need to do anything. You don't need to download anything. You don't even need to register. If you want to take a look at the platform, you can just click Instant Demo here. And I'm using a VPN, so my speed is a little bit slower, but that shouldn't stop us from taking a look. So you get basically an idea during the worst conditions. So, all right. So what you see here is the main trading window. And at the middle of it, you see the Market Explorer and some tabs here, which you can also create for yourself. For example, you can create a watch list. Let's call it stock indices, right? And then you see here, for example, is the DAX, right? So in the left part here, you can browse all the indices. So you have here cryptocurrencies in there, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Neo, Solana, Stellar, indices by countries. So for example, the US indices, you will find there the S&P 500, the Russell, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, volatility index, dollar index, European index. You will find the Euro stocks, the DAX, the CAC 40, the Swiss 30, the FTSE. Mind you, both in many instances, futures and CFDs. So there you see that basically the chart is the same, but the prices differ and also the trading costs differ, right? So here you have Forex pairs. For example, here you would find the Euro dollar, Euro Canadian dollar, Euro Swiss, Euro sterling, and so forth. Here you find shares, UK, US minis, European bonds, energy. Under that you would find oil, for example, metals, gold, silver, platinum. Soft commodities would be sugar, cocoa, orange juice, things like that. All right. So up here, you can see your account balance, your open positions in terms of P&L, your available funds, and your current margin. So TD365 has negative balance protection. So what you see here is actually something that's impossible. You will never have a negative account balance. You will never end up owing that broker money. That is just when trading this demo environment for some reason that auto resets, but that is not how it actually works. So don't worry. Here you see your account ID. In this case, you clearly see this is a demo account, the demo server. You can contact support. You can log out. Here you can change the language. And under payments, yeah, you can request withdrawals or fund your account, right? So now let's look at this instrument. The market is Germany 40. That's the DAX, the German stock index. Here you see the buy and sell price. The difference, of course, is the spread or bid-ask commission. Spreads with TD365 are low and fixed. That's the reason why I'm trading with them. You probably don't find a cheaper CFD broker. Right? So, and you have the opportunity here to set a price alarm. You can say, for example, when the DAX hits 24,450, yeah, set me an alert. Now I get on a practice account, price alerts are not available, but that's how it would work. That also works on your mobile phone if you install the trading platform on your phone as well. Then you get the alarm there too, right? So this here gives you some information that is yeah, just you can look at that. Let me get myself out of the way. So you have the trading hours, London time, that's interesting. That of course doesn't mean that the DAX is open at midnight. That just means that the representation, the CFD representation of the future markets that you're seeing here with very light volume is tradable, right? So here's the notational volume in tiers, trade per one. Minimum trading size is $0.5. You can, by the way, you can open an account in different currencies. I have an account trading in euros, for example. You can also use British pounds. You can use US dollars and probably some other currencies. This is a cash index, so it's rolling. There's no expiration date on it. It's not a futures contract. Current spread is 1. And during the opening times of the DAX, it will also not change. It will stay 1. Doesn't matter. Even during a news release, the spreads in TD365 are fixed and low. Right? Okay. So, this here will bring up a chart of the DAX. Oh. And again, I'm in a VPN, so things will take some time, but don't worry, you get the worst case. And you can also open that chart in full screen like so, right? Now here you would see your open positions and orders. Down here you can manipulate the time frames. You can also do that up here. Right now we're looking at a 15-minute chart. So let's switch to a 5-minute chart. There you go. That's it. Here you have drawing tools. For example, what could you need? Something like a channel. so. What else could you need? Some text. Here are the Fibonacci retracement tool that you see right here. Okay. Things like that. The charting package is, well, it's doing its job, right? I'm with TD365 because I save a lot of money trading with them, literally thousands of euros. And also the execution is flawless, right? So here you can change between sell, mid and buy price, depending if you go long or short. You want a correct representation. I leave it at mid because the spreads are honestly, they are so small that it doesn't really matter much. You have all kinds of different chart types here and aggregate types. I trade candlesticks, but certainly you can trade bar charts, you can trade light charts, Heikin Ashi, Renko, all kinds of things. Well, you can manipulate that and save that as a view. So you also have here some predefined themes. For example, you want to have it dark. Yeah, well, then you choose this one. Or you want to have it light, choose that one. You can define your own themes here. Can change the language and time zone. So you want to have your time that you're in. For example, I am in Prague. It's the same time zone as Frankfurt. So that's all right. But somebody from the UK wants to maybe change that to 1 hour earlier. Right? So, and all kinds of indicators you can find here under studies. Yeah? For example, if you're searching for a Bollinger Band, you will find that here. You can also edit that. Let's make the top one green, lower one red, middle one yellow. So, and then it looks like that. Okay. So, how to trade? Well, there's different options. So you can trade from the main window right here by clicking on trade. And now you have to define the stake size in terms of, in this case, dollars a point. So we learned the minimum is 50 cents. So let's use $5 a point. Let's say we want to sell the DAX and put a stop loss in, maybe of 25 points. Here you see that is worth at €5 a point times 25. It's 125, right? So that's the risk. Here you see also the spread is fixed at 1, doesn't change. So, and we can also, if we want to, define a take profit level in terms of price or points. So let's go for a 2-to-1. So when 50 points in profit, we want to automatically close the position. So by clicking submit, we see here that we did that. Now down here you see the open positions, market, buy or sell. So we are short, amount 5 in terms of dollar per point, opening price, current price, open profit and loss, stop loss, limit. Margin for that is $610. So we would have to have at least $610.01 in our account to be able to open and maintain that position. Also changes depending on our P&L here. if that goes into profit, you see we require less margin. The notational value is 122,007 because this broker offers a 200-to-1 leverage. Here you see also the timestamp. So if you want to close the trade, you can do so by clicking X and then confirm. You see that trades will be closed by sell trade will be closed by a buy order, equal size. So you can also go and change this. Obviously, you can't change the stake size anymore, but you can change, for example, the stop loss. You can change the take profit, and then it updates that. All right. So what would happen if we bought now the DAX at €2 a point, or let's do 2.5. Just remember, we are short at $5 a point. What if we now buy at $2.5 a point? We would effectively close half of the position. Boom. You see? And now we effectively closed half of the position, and we have still our 50% position on at $2.50 a point. And now you can see in the transaction history that we closed this year at a loss of $9. Okay. Also in the activity history, you see with timestamps everything that happened here. This is more technical. Okay. So let's now say we want to place an order. And with CFDs, there are you don't need to differentiate between limit orders, stop orders, and whatnot. They are just orders, right? So with CFDs, when you, for example, want to sell more at 24,390, by all means, say we want to add 100% at 24,390. Yeah, then we can totally do so. And here you see that here is a order in the market. So selling the DAX at 250 a point once price reaches that order level of 24,390. Okay, so here's the distinction between stop and limit order, but for the sake of this you don't need that. So obviously we can also add here a stop loss and take profit level if we wish to do so. And now you see this here is defined. So now let's switch back to the chart. And you see here that this is our sell order in the DAX. And we're currently in profit. Here would be this dashed line up here would be our stop loss, and down here is our take profit. So where's our order? Our order sits here, and once price hits that level, it will automatically open another position in the same size as we described. Now we can of course change the colors here. This is a sell short order. Let's make that red. This is a sell short order. Let's make that orange, right? Now, and we can also do that here, right? We can trade from the chart. We can say, okay, I want to sell short here. It's a stop of 20 points. and just either execute at market, as I did now. Yeah, so you can see now our total amount that we are short is 350 a point. Here's my sell at market at $1 a point, and that is our initial position here. So, and right now we are losing, we are at the wrong side of the market. We can switch this off. This here is nice, it gives you the information about the high, the low, the open and close of a candle, which can be very helpful. Yeah? You can switch that off. You can also use this crosshair here to gauge price levels of the chart quickly, or switch that off. Yeah, and you can also define here an order level and enter an order. So let's say we want to sell short at 24,395. Boom. Let's make that dark. And there you go. There it is, right? Here you can also define your stop loss and limit. So what is hedging? Hedging is something that I personally don't use. It would, I showed you how to close 50% of a position. If you don't want to do that, but actually have a buy and sell order for whatever reason at the same time, yeah, you could use that. But I don't do that. Yeah? So now you see our positions are slowly going into profit. So let's start to close something out here. Let's move stop loss to break even here. Let's maybe close those orders here. We should be able to do that from the chart. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with a runner, albeit on a demo account. That was my short introduction to TD365's cloud trading platform from the vantage point of a trader. Thank you very much for listening. Karaoke Andy out. If you found this video useful, then allow me a minute of advertising here. So first of all, let me repeat why I trade with TD365. I'm trading with TD365 personally for their low and fixed spreads, right? Most brokers don't have fixed spreads. They have variable spreads. They're spreads from, right? That means during news releases or higher volatility events, or just randomly, the spreads change. With TD365, they are fixed and low. Yeah? Also, TD365 offers 200-to-1 leverage, negative balance protection, and is SCB regulated. All right. So the cost of trading for me are what's at the heart of it. And I encourage you to compare that for yourself. You know the instruments that you are trading, you know your stake size. Just do a simple calculation like this one. If you take, for example, 5 trades per day in the FTSE at 20 euros a point, with TD365, you pay a low and fixed 0.8 spread. If you compare that to another popular broker, for example, eToro, you pay a 1.5 spread. And that can even get wider depending on, I don't even understand that. Yep, it's variable spread. But let's just take the information from the eToro website, which says 1.5 points spread, right? That's almost double the spreads of TD365. Yeah, and if you take 5 trades per day at 250 trading days per year that you in theory could trade, well, that makes a difference of 17,500 euros that you would save just by trading the FTSE with TD365 instead of eToro. Again, I encourage you to compare for yourself. I also know that some people, they have some questions about TD365. They have even some concerns. Just check, I made another video. I believe I very transparently addressed all of those. Check that out and do your own research. Come to your own conclusions. But if you do all of that and you want to give TD365 a shot, yeah, then please, by all means, go ahead and use my affiliate link. You would really help me out making more content like this. Thank you very much.